Link 4. Link 4 is probably the most important one out of all of them. Okay, this is the one that I used to spend so many hours rehearsing and doing, and it made me a better golfer for it. And basically what the importance of Link 4 is essentially the top of my backswing done. All right, so before we get to Link 5, if I can get into this position here, the rest of my swing just falls into place. And it's one that I rehearse even to this day, and I'm talking from 1990, from when I started doing all this, all the way through to where I am now, and I still rehearse it now. And I still have the same problems that I used to have as well back then, which was always too flat. So rehearsing this is key, and I do this drill a heck of a lot, which we'll show you at the end, but just to show you what we're looking for, and I'll do it from down the line to start with. So what happens? So we're going from Link 1, address, Link 2, takeaway, Link 3. Now Link 4, what's going to happen from here, going from Link 3 to Link 4, I'm going to continue to turn my shoulders and my belly button in sync with the club. My hands and arms and wrists though now are going to hinge. I want them fully hinged by the time the left arm is parallel to the ground. So getting to this point here. Now at this point here, the wrists are fully set, and I'll show you from face on in a minute. Now the shaft of the club, for me, feels like it's running down and pointing somewhere between my feet and my ball to target line. It's going to be in this area somewhere here. Okay, so it's quite steep. So I'm going to go back to this area here. My left arm is parallel to the ground. My left arm feels as though it's across my chest just slightly, and my hands feel like they're a little bit more in the middle of my chest, not out here somewhere. Shaft is quite shallow. My right arm still feels a little bit above the left. I don't feel like it's tucking under. And my club face is matching the back of my left hand. And I'm starting to feel pressure now building into my right heel. I can start to feel it building because I'm turning my hips more now and turning my body, and I've stayed tilted forward. So just to show you from this angle, I'm going to go from Link 1 to, Link 2, 3 here, now 4. I continued up, so my wrists are now created this L shape here, and they're fully hinged. My thumbs feel like they're pointing up. Shaft of the club's pointing down to that point on the ground. My club face is matching my back of my left hand, and my right arm feels higher than the left still, and my left arm is across my chest. It hasn't come away. Now that's a solid position, because all I've got to do from there is to finish the turn. But if I can get into this position here every single time, I know I've absolutely nailed the swing, and it's something that I rehearse a heck of a lot in front of windows, mirrors, cameras. I even have my friends check it for me as well. It's a really important position. If you can work on that, most golfers can become great golfers. Now, some of the most common faults associated with Link 4 is again to do with, if I'm in this position here, either the shaft is going to be too flat, okay, or too shallow, as we would say, or too steep. My hands and arms could come away, or I could drag my hands and arms too far behind me. They're probably some of the most common faults we'll tend to see. Other ones would be from this position is an overturning of the body before I even get to that position. If I've turned my hips their full amount, which is 90 degrees with my shoulders and 45 with my hips, well, from here, unfortunately, all I'm going to do from here is just finish off with using my hands and arms. So an overturning of the body is another common one that we see. But there's three there, sort of, to be honest with you. But the most common one we see is either too flat, too steep, or we'll see the hands going too deep across the body and the right elbow coming out, or the arms coming away from the chest. They're the most common faults that we'll tend to see, and you need to look out for those as well. If you're seeing those positions when you're swinging on the video or camera, then you need to come back and check link number 4. So a drill to go with link 4, it's a great way to do it, is one of the key things that we were looking for in the swing was to see whether or not this shaft was pointing down to a point between my toes and the ball. Okay, we don't want it pointing above the ball, which is what we tend to see, or behind my feet. Now there's a few ways in which you can do this, to be fair, and one of the ways you can do it is, number one, so I'll use this T-peg in a minute. Number one that you can do is you can actually just grip down the handle a little bit, because you can't hit a ball doing this one. And you can see how I've got now excessive amount of grip shown at the top end of the club here. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to literally swing myself back up into this position, and I'm going to look to see where that extra piece of grip is looking. Now, is it looking between my balls and my feet? It looks like it is. If it was over here, I could tell immediately that's too flat, and if it's behind my feet line, I could tell that's straight away as well. So this is just going to help me just to sort of guide it in there to know that that's in the right place. If you don't have that, you can put a T-peg in. I've got a long white T-peg here, and again I can use that as a guide just to sort of see sticking out at the bottom here. If I want to hold it fully, I can see whether that's pointing in the right place. Okay, you can do that if you want to, or if you want to, and I wouldn't hit shots doing this for sure, is you can just hold an alignment stick behind the grip and just feel where that's pointing. That's going to give you a definitive yes or no. If it's over here somewhere, that's too shallow, too steep. So somewhere in the middle. So that's a great drill to do. Just use a pointer to help you to line up to make sure that it's in the right place. It's a good one to do and to rehearse. You just need to have that feedback. You can also use mirrors, cameras and so on. The great thing with Coach Now app, you can draw lines on it to see whether you're in the right place or not. Okay? Any questions on that, please let me know.